Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to the Napoleonic battlefield. Today, I have a special treat for you. This is going to be a vicious, close, deadly battle of 4v4 on Poland 1 with massive heavy cav engagements, infantry going in to give them the bayonet, and then some nice volleys just melting away lines of infantry, leaving the dead and wounded screaming on the ground. Yep. And that is all here. So get comfortable, get yourself whatever you do when you watch something awesome, because that's what is going to be here today. We have on the battlefield, so the French, all French today, although one of them is a Polish French. Just don't want to miss this because there's a pretty epic charge with these Carabiniers driving out the Ottomans. But we see here the 11-point France Allemagne, a 7-point France Poland, and they have mines here, so these Carabiniers are going to be a little careful here. Careful they don't destroy something. Let's see if they can make it in here. They haven't lost a man yet. Oh! And the destruction. That poor windmill. Surprisingly, haven't lost very many at all, but maybe one or two. Oh no, they got shot down. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna take that building pretty easily against the Ottomans. But the other armies, so like I said, 7-point Poland, 11-point France Allemagne, you have a 9-point France Flanders, and in the way back, I believe, or maybe it's up front, France Italy as well. So they are facing a lot of typical coalition players, but like you saw, the Ottomans are on the battlefield as well. So you have a UK Spain, a UK Portugal, Ottomans, and then Austria. So, you know, a lot of good quality UK infantry and cavalry. Austria brings quite a lot of heavy cav to the battlefield. And, of course, the Ottomans, you got to watch out for that light cav. And, of course, the guerrilla units, you got... See, I mean, you already have some light cav here showing up. And, you know, infantry won't be far behind them. Now, these are Lancers, but in mass, guys, they are so deadly. Now, I was told in the comments on this thing that there is some huge cav clashes, so I know there's a lot of cav on both sides. You already saw this, just this one army here has, you know, dragoons, carabiniers, they have cuirassiers, chasseurs cheval. You have some other cav running away here, some hussars. I do believe the Ottomans are giving chase, they don't catch that Polish unit immediately, but more dragoons, hussars, more chasseurs cheval, heavy cavalry, more chasseurs cheval, lancers. It's just crazy amounts. Now the Polish are pushing infantry up to defend their cav as these lancers are running through the woods, over the river and through the woods. To the enemy lines they go. And these lancers seem to have gotten away just a little bit. Now I did hear men running. Oh, I missed it. There was a first cav engagement. You had both sides breaking here. Dragoons charging it against what looks like maybe some Portuguese light cav. You can see a lot more cavalry here for the UK. Light dragoons, though, so very deadly, and they are charging in against some dragoons of the French and carabiniers. So I guess we're going to see which side is going to break first. These carabiniers seem to want to stand their ground at this point in time, so the light dragoons going to go in, clash with them. And this will be yet another raging cav fight here. I do not think this UK cav will do well unless they get a flanking charge, something like that. Yeah, they're not doing too hot. And there's infantry pushing up to help on this side. And, oh, they're going to empty some saddles there. But you can see the French are pushing forward here. This 11-pointer, taking this LOC. It's a 2-pointer. And they are setting up along this kind of tree line using this open field with all the hay bales. The UK have a lot of Irish mixed up in their lines. I believe it's Irish. No, maybe this is no, I'm sorry, I called them Irish. This is not Irish. These are Spanish militia units. They also have some tow rows. The UK have some tow rows here up in the front. Artillery, Spanish. They have so both the UK, at least this UK army, has a lot of non-UK troops in it. Now we have, like you can see, a lot of cavalry here, a lot of Spanish cav, along with some light dragoons, UK light dragoons, skirmishers as well, and then some more Portuguese cavs. Man, so much cav on the battlefield, guys. Now we do have a clash, the Ottoman cav throwing himself against the Polish Lancers, and unfortunately the Polish Lancers is going to get charged in the back by more and more Ottomans charging forward, and they're going to fall back. This line preparing for a defense, as you can see the Ottoman line rolling down this road, ready to crash into them. Undaunted at all. And the Polish, yeah, there has some good infantry. Some of it's not so good. They do have Russian line infantry in the mix as well. Westphalians, I do believe, as well. Yep, Russian Grenadiers. More lines pushing up to kind of link up with this 11-pointer as the UK are pushing forward. Looks like we may have some skirm action here. Supported by some cavalry, you have some skirmishers pushing up, trying to snipe some of this Portuguese, I believe, cavalry. And they are going to do it and knock down a couple of those troops. Now we can look here and see the 9-point Italy pushing up to support this left flank, and then you have the 9-point Flanders also pushing up on this left flank. So they are focusing everything on this left side. It looks pretty glorious, doesn't it? That looks amazing. Just looks amazing. However, that means there's also some Ottoman cav now circling around. This Polish 7-pointer is going to have to hold the brunt of the right flank here, with the Ottomans inching forward on this side, along with the Ottomans. The UK also pushing up here. The Ottomans, I mean, the two French armies are going to have quite a lot of weight to carry for quite some time until the other French units get up, and who knows how long that will take before they do get up to the front of the battlefield. We do have now French skirmishers pushing even closer here, pushing into a clear open field. Obviously the wheat has already been cut. Just, you know, I guess not tons of damage can be done in that respect. Artillery, though, blasting away at this French cavalry that's setting up here. Cav is always a good target for your artillery to hit, and this is gonna be no exception. Nice open field. This artillery is gonna have a field day, no pun intended. Or maybe it was intended. You'll never know. No, just kidding. These crosshairs actually will also be a very juicy shot to take. And yeah, the skirmishers now going to fall back. They do not want to handle that. The French still wanting to form up. It looks like Poland is going to fall back. They do not want to take that fight, where they may get outflanked. As you can see, they're fighting this flank. They don't want to have to fight on this front as well. So they're going to make a nice link here with the other French army. You can imagine the Austrians are probably going to be pushing down this road, UK not far behind. So two armies to face this front. This 11-pointer is going to have to take a lot of damage probably. Now they do have tons of grenadiers on this side, and that's where you want to look for the action. If you want to see where the action is, you look for a group of grenadiers. You know something's going to happen there at some point. They're grouped up for a reason, guys, especially if they're supported by carabiniers. So heavy cav, C4s, that's really the fastest heavy cav you can get. But if you see this good combination, I guarantee you, watch, it's going to be a nice combo, I bet. Hopefully they can pull it off, and they can send some troops in against maybe some Austrians or UK troops supported by some cavalry and do some real damage. Now they are pouring in some fire on the UK cavalry, who's immediately running away, leaving 2 or 3 of their mates dead on the battlefield. Yeah, they're definitely going to get themselves out of there. They don't want anything to do with that. UK also forming up here on the flank. This is still one UK army. Some skirmishers and tow rows in the mix, or Coldstream Guard. They have a nice chunky militia center that can take a lot of damage, especially soaking up skirmisher fire. It's a nice way to use your skirms. You want the chunky units. We still have not seen, we've seen the cav for this UK, but we don't know where the infantry is. The general here for Austria, and as I say that, bada boom, they appear. I wanted to let you know, of course, I want to keep this Ottoman cav horse, you know, keep an eye out for them. I saw them popping up. This could wreak so much havoc if they can go for artillery, for a general. This cavalry could do so much damage if the French are not careful. They do have some good quality cav, but it's not a whole lot. Hopefully they get some squares over to defend. Also looks like Poland is fighting a retreating battle here. They have a small contingent of Polish troops holding off a lot of the Ottomans, while the rest of their troops seem to be forming up with the rest of the French. Oh, we have a huge cav engagement here. Cavalry charging in. We have some Chasseurs Cheval charging for the skirmishers. And they got some skirms for sure. More cavalry here, dragoons, and they are going straight for some heavy cav. Wow, I would have pulled them out. And you guessed it, a lot of heavy cuirassier. That's 3 units of heavy Austrian cav. That is going to be a problem for the French. If they are not careful, that could be deadly for them. Now we do have the Ottomans pushing forward a lot of their cav. We have 2 units of French cav, and some reserves, maybe some over here, but not a lot. Poland probably shouldn't charge in here, but they're going to anyway. But if the Ottomans know how to play right, they're going to circle around with, yep, they're going to hit them in the back here. And they did lose 1. The Ottomans lost 1, but they have so much quantity of cavalry, and Poland is going to throw in their last cav unit, and this cav's probably going to flank around and hit them in the rear. And, you know, Ottomans may have taken, what, two cav losses, but they easily broke the Polish two cavalry of Poland. All right, so the Ottomans opponent, look at this. You have Carabineers in 3 columns, assault columns. Oh, this is definitely gonna happen. Oh, yep, it's rolling forward already. Oh man, I thought it would have been a little bit sooner. They're gonna charge in. Here we go. Oh, looks like they're gonna form a square. And Carabineers together before they take some heavy losses. But look at this. Look at all the French troops. You have reserves. You have so many columns of line infantry pushing forward. Austria, this is where you have to send the heavy cav, pull back your air infantry immediately. And if Austria is paying attention to this at all, they're going to fall back. And yes, they are. But France is hot on the pursuit, guys. They are going to catch them. They are determined. You can feel the intensity. They are not stopping. Look at this. They're rolling forward. Cavalry also rolling forward. They are not stopping. They can probably harass some of this line infantry. Heavy cav, though, set up to maybe intercept some of this infantry. But here we go. Oh, yes, we have a grenadier charge. In Austria, unfortunately, probably it's not going to get a full volley off before the grenadiers slam into this first line. Also, Carabineers charging in against one line, did not let them form square in time. And here comes the French onslaught. We do have heavy cav now that's going to charge in. You have some UK troops trying to hold this right flank. Over on this side, it looks like the French are engaging the UK. Canister are going to really start wrecking their day. More Ottomans defending that house. But this is where the focal point of this fight is, with the Ottoman cav charge, or not Ottoman, but the Austrian cav charging in. A huge break in the center. A huge mass cav charge on this other flank. Cuirassier engaging, but more cav now charging in for the flank. Hussars, or not Hussars, light dragoons. Can the Austrians hold their line? They have heavy cav now charging in. France sees it forms some squares as Austria is going to counterattack here to hold them off. Oh no, just as Austria is losing, here comes a whole UK army. France needs to be very, very, very careful they don't overextend here. They are also engaging the Ottomans on this right flank. There's still Ottoman cav in the back, and there's a lot of cav sitting back here. Maybe it's been forgotten about in the heat of the moment as this huge infantry cav charge, grenadiers still pushing forward. Austrian heavy cav breaking. More grenadiers in the front lines. But there looks like the UK has a flanking cav unit ready to hit this cross here, and they do break them. France still has a good, strong center here. France has fallen back as they could not handle the fast-firing UK. I mean, they have a nice skirmisher unit, 95th Rifles. Yeah, you can see they left a pile of dead here, so they are falling back away from that artillery piece. And they can bide their time. Ooh, huge explosion there. Another mine probably. This French army can advance and maybe take the flank. This is that advantage here they have. They have 2 armies here to push this right flank. Still a vicious cav charge here. This Cuirassier unit charging in. Now we do have a Chasseur Cheval. I'm not sure what they're charging for. The Ottomans still engaging the Polish. And the Polish hold strong in the force. They are breaking, though. They are losing troops quickly against this Ottoman fire, and here comes the reinforcing UK army to take up this flank that Austria lost. Austria is going to have to take a moment to reform. Some of the units are probably going to come back, but they are going to be exhausted, and they're going to need a rest up. You can see a bunch of the units did come back, but they need to rest up their troops, let the UK take it over. And the UK now have some really good firing that they're able to throw up on the front. France can have a trouble really making a vicious attack there. The rest of this French army, they need to start pushing. I mean, they're setting up a lot of artillery, but they should try pushing here to reinforce this French line, unless they are looking for a nice countercharge once again in this area. But both sides now stagnant as artillery is coming up for both sides. It may turn into an artillery duel for a little while. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? This battle seems to have cooled off just a little bit. As now the UK, I mean, the only side that seems to still be engaged is Poland and Ottomans. But yeah, look at that. UK pushing forward. Oh, yeah. These guys ready. They're walking over the dead of their allies and enemies. With Austria as a reserve, this feels like it could be a good counter-attack. If UK hadn't showed up, who knows what would have happened here. But I'm concerned Poland's in a break here. They need some real action here, as the Ottomans just have so much to throw up into this fight. It may not be the greatest quality, but over the space of time, I'm sure they can win this fight. You know there's a lot of force in the battlefield because, like, whenever, you know, you do this and you start seeing troops glitching, that means there's tons more than your computer can actually render. But Poland is shifting up even more troops now to face off against the Ottomans. They can't lose that flank. Like, they really can't lose that flank. France is taking a very slow but steady. We do have France, Italy shifting over about half of their force to this right side, most likely because they know they need more reinforcements here. You can see a lot more of the 11-pointer shifting over. They just have that Carabinieri unit and skirmishers kind of soaking up a lot of this UK force. And UK, if they aren't paying attention, they're just going to waste their time here against just like a quarter of the French army, while France, with that ruse setup, is going to push up maybe artillery to hold this side and push all their infantry to this other side. Now the UK are in position. They are going to start laying down some bloody volleys. I can imagine the French are probably going to start crumbling to the UK fire. Now maybe they can get a nice bayonet charge once more, as the UK do have a mixture of Portuguese units in their line. Portuguese going to be pretty bad unless they're firing. They have some good firing stats, but they have terrible morale. Anything else? Artillery for the Austrians now setting up here. This is a beautiful position. Right here, look at this. Look at the range you have. You can hit this line, or you can hit the Polish corner here. Either way, it is a excellent targeting that they can easily make. Now we do see the UK pushing forward here. I think they're trying to put some pressure on this line. Now they got to watch out they don't overextend, because this French army has barely even engaged. A very strong 9-pointer, in my opinion. France Flanders very strong, and they could crash in. A little bit of skirmishes and cav isn't going to stop an entire army from rolling forward. They can delay them, maybe. I suspect the UK are going to have to start. They probably are going to, if things go the way the French seem to be pushing, UK is probably going to eventually be over here, facing off against the French. The flank's going to probably fold. Now we'll see if they can take this LOC. But this is militia trying to outshoot some Carabinieri who have excellent cover. This guy probably can get a ton of kills before he dies. And you can see, guys, the wearing down of the French army. They are definitely going to have some problems. Do I hear a bayonet charge? Infantry charge? Oh my goodness, yes we do. Here is the closing from melee. If the UK don't see this coming and run away, this is madness. They have to notice this. They gotta pull back, unless, well, maybe they can volley the French in time. But it doesn't look like they're going to. Oh no. UK, you gotta notice when they are closing in, and what you do is you leave the units that are bayonet charge and you pull back the line, have some flanking fire on the units that are in a bayonet charge. They have a square still formed here, and France is closing in with masses of troops here. Now France has got to watch out they don't start lobbing. See, that was a devastating volley. That was a good volley, but sappers will follow that up, and it probably will still do well. And you see the French actually have had some breaking. Frontally charging the enemy, guys, especially the UK, can have disastrous consequences. As you can see, already some French breaking, but they have reserves. They obviously have prepared for this very moment. They're going to get some volleys point blank at the UK. Beautifully done. And now the massive push forward here. They got break. If they can break twice the coalition twice in this one area, this could be a huge win for them. But they are starting to have some mass routing here on this side.
Our men are running.
That does not look very good. And you can see even here, they're getting torn up. Cavalry, oh no. Austrian heavies pushing up. Now this flank, you can see the UK holding up the right flank, holding the center. And here goes the heavy cav. Now just back charging their ally. But maybe it is worth it. No, they're going to fall back. Man, the French are doing everything right here, except maybe they should have more cav. They have a lot of cav. Where to go? This Dragoon unit, or even some of their heavy cav, should be pushing up here and smashing into the UK, or they should be focusing on the Ottomans. But we do have maybe a gens, maybe not. Ottomans charging in that side. Man, France is getting repulsed, guys. This is not looking good.
Our men are running, sir.
Come on, France Flanders, you got to get in this fight. He's got to push across the river. Oh my gosh. This Cuirassier unit with the UK in coordination seems to just be breaking the French. France still fighting over here, but they have been repulsed along this entire flank. Still holding strong here, but where's all the French cav going? And there's tons that this 9-point France could be pushing up to help out with the side. All that cav is sitting there. If it was in the center, it could be charging right now and guarantee you breaking a lot of this Portuguese infantry. Because right now, this 11-pointer has taken probably the weight of this fight. Them and the 7-pointer. I think they have made the most of this attack. And obviously, not paying attention here is probably get some friendly kills there. Oh no, don't ever do this. If you push infantry up, although to be fair, that's two different factions. They should probably have communicated that. They kill their own skirmisher, their allies' skirmishers by standing in front of them. Even if they're in light infantry formation, your skirmishers will stand up to fire. So, you know, you'll still sweep the floor with them. Now, we do have general movement here. Finally, the 9-point Flanders pushing onto the field. Hopefully, it is going to be in the nick of time because this whole flank is caving fast. And I mean really fast here. This French infantry, oh man. Austria just collapsing this French center, it looks like. Going in with two vicious attacks here. This is looking bad. And there's cav in the back lines. This whole 11-pointer is getting surrounded. He has infantry behind the lines. Now he does have dragoons still here. At this point, it's time to chalk it up to a bit of a loss and fall back. Reform your lines and hope that maybe this left flank will cave in and then you can push again. Either that or just try to sell your lives dearly and make the enemy pay for every single second they spend fighting you. But the cavalry for the coalition... Oh, guys, I'm telling you, this coalition cav is doing God's work on the field right now. Slaughtering the French, it almost feels like. This general even breaking 11-point France. They gave it their all, and now they are basically gone. It is up to France, 9-point France, Italy, to hold the cannon, and the 7-pointer, of course, and they are holding. Ooh, we have a bayonet charge by some Janissaries. Let's see if the Russian line infantry can hold their own against the Ottoman line.
Our men are running.
And Poland is still holding here. Surprisingly, I actually thought they would have broken by now, but they are holding. We'll see how long it takes. But I don't know, guys. I really don't think the coalition are going to have a problem if they want to win this one. Now, maybe not. Like I said, this is still a wild card, and France is pushing quite aggressively now. I mean, they have to at this point. Here we go. Dragoons are not even charging. They're kind of just walking forward. The French are engaging them, not forming square. France over here should start bayonet charging the UK, holding the center. And over here, France needs to get way more aggressive. $signs general has been slain as the UK cavalry is just running rampant in the back lines, making sure none of this 11-point France comes back. France needs to regain control of this field, guys. The nice thing is all of the coalition has been engaged in this fight, and there's a very, very, very fresh French army. Like, I'm talking super uber fresh. Like minty gum fresh. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. They took out the artillery. And that's the general taking care of business. Like, fine, if the men won't do it, I will do it. They charged the general in here. Maybe he can go for the UK general. Either that, or I would fall back at this point and run away, because that morale you can give is huge. Yeah, what is going to happen here now? I'm really curious what the French are going to do here, because this is a pickle, guys. This is a pickle. They have, however, French cav in the back lines trying to maybe make a move here. Ottomans still in reserve. I would have, if I was the Ottomans, I would have been sending reserves over, or telling the French, or not the French, but the UK to fall back. Although they are doing quite well. Here we go, a huge cav engagement here. France charging in on several different points, taking on Spanish cav, some dragoons, and they break in 2 different places here, maybe in 3 with that square being formed. And things are not looking good for the French right now. Now maybe he can get in, he can close in for bayonet charge. Oh, he's advancing way too close. Oh, that's way too close. Advance the flanks, but don't push the whole line forward. This UK is gonna outshoot you, especially this Coldstream Guard unit. You want to see a melting of a French unit. Here we go. Putting the fire. Here we go. Look at that. They're dropping chunks of the French line. And France seems to be going in for the bayonet. Now, this may not be a bad strategy, but he's going to take some heavy losses, especially against this unit. Here we go. Watch. Oh my goodness. They are so fortunate that that Coldstream Guard did not get a fire. Still, though, he's blobbing up a little too much. That is, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They're frontally charging the UK. That is a bad idea for many, many, many reasons. As you can see there, I mean, 3 units broke to 1 UK line. Well, I guess only 2, but there was 3 charging, and 1 of them broke, or 2 of them broke. And you can see here, France broke against the UK. They couldn't. Ooh. There's definitely some fimming happening on the. That's a little dirty by the UK, fimming them. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but they were in melee, then all of a sudden they weren't. So that may be. That looked like a dirty play by the UK. I don't know about that one. And the French army was holding quite well, so. That's awful. All right, well, the Ottomans are just rolling over this side, and I think despite the French initial success, it does not look like they are winning this fight anymore. And there is plenty of time, so they don't have to worry about trying to win an LOC victory here. Now, we do have the UK charging in here, catching some lines. Trying to go for the general, maybe. France needs to get things on board. They have won this left flank. They still have a strong left flank, but I mean, with the Ottomans and the UK and Austrians holding so strong, there's cav everywhere for the coalition. The Polish are dead, so there's 2 French armies that are dead, and half of another 9-point Italy looks to be dead. I mean, it's Flanders and Italy, guys. That is it. There's a little bit of Allemagne. I know I'm probably butchering that, but there's only a little bit of this 11-point France left. And the UK, I mean, everybody, they look pretty strong here. I was really hoping to see the French make a good, solid play. I mean, they did some really good stuff. I think if the 11-pointer wasn't going in by themselves, they went in by themselves and broke the Austrians. If this 9-point France-Flanders had sent their cav over, or just 1 or 2 units, they could have combated the Austrian heavy cav. But that is why heavy cav is so good to bring, guys. I mean, you saw it did so much damage to France. It was deadly, some would say, to the point of extinction for the French. France repulsed a lot of this 9-point Flanders, but they still took heavy losses, and so they are, of course, going to have to fall back still, despite the initial win they had. But they can have a retreating fight here. They have the grasshoppers, they have skirmishers, they have really good quality infantry that can slow down the French. And after seeing the French frontally charge the UK, I don't have a lot of hope that the UK are going to, lose this one. I'm sure they're going to win. France is frontally suiciding in themselves into the UK. The UK are bleeding them so fast. Look at the volleys. Look how fast. And this French army keeps running. Their men are winded already, and they keep running their troops forward. You should never run your troops forward. Never run them unless you're like right here. But okay, here we go. It's gonna break. France is gonna probably break, especially with this flanking charge by the tow roads. Maybe they'll break. Man, this UK though, I mean, they keep shooting in melee, and I mean, to a certain extent, it may be accidental, but I've seen it happen a couple times now. So UK needs to make sure that they're not intentionally doing this. That is not a polite sportsman-like method here. And you can see, oh, come on, France, charge this unit. He's gonna flank you. Ah, man, this UK is getting just good angles, and France, for as massive of a unit and massive an army they are breaking so fast against such a small UK force. Over on this side, I mean, it's just some poor Carabineers trying to hold. A little bit of the 11-pointer did come back. Maybe he can make a hold here with LLCs. More cav now charging in against the French. You cannot form square. Wow, they killed the general. Will it matter? You know what, to be fair, the more I see this, that looks like a blob charge, this UK unit. So both sides seem to be, doing some unsportsmanlike thing. And like I said, it could be the UK just wasn't paying attention. And they just, sometimes the AI will film if you're not paying attention. But yeah. There's no way the French can come back from this. I feel like there's no way. Now, maybe they can. Maybe they can. Oh, man. These grasshoppers were not facing the right direction. That is unfortunate. And they're going to get hit in the back. And France isn't even paying attention to them. This UK cav is breaking. Man, the coalition cannot lose this point. They can't afford to lose. If they lose, this would be probably one of the greatest losses of their life. They have the French dead to rights, in my opinion. And this French player keeps running from his troops forward. That is going to be the quickest way to make sure that your troops, break or get exhausted to the point which they will not come back. I hear some artillery firing. Oh my gosh, there's a artillery battery trying to force back the French. These guys know the job they have. This guy's like, I'm not even gonna look. I don't want to see how bad it is. I'm just gonna run away as soon as, you know, we get engaged. The UK are actually getting shredded. This Carabinieri unit seems to be doing a terribly, well, it's an amazing job from the Imperial perspective, but from the Coalition perspective, they're doing an amazing job. They're doing God's work. But we have a grand battery here. We have 5 guns firing here. All right, and now we have the French charging. Oh, okay, okay, France. Then we got to talk about your tactics here. This is. Come on, you can't blob to win. That's not a clean win. Don't blob. What are they doing? This French player is not playing very cleanly. And they are blobbing up a lot. Now, hopefully this cavalry could destroy a blob pretty easily. Just charge in on the back. But I mean, France is, they're throwing too many units into one, and that. I got no words except for that is cheating. I mean, that's what it is. Yeah, if you're new, 2 units max, that is it. Not this 6-5 amount of infantry charging into 1 or 2 units. It's just, you can't do it. It's not, you can't do it. You can't do it. That's basically what it winds down to. This French 11-pointer still fighting here. Unless he left. It looks like some of his units may be AFK, because they're just standing here. And this French player now getting just beaten down by cavalry. Maybe that is how justice will be done, you know? Man, they're walking through units too. You can't pull through units. France. France. Everything else is going well. I mean, everyone else is playing fair, I guess you would say. Why can't this French player play out? Still, let's take a chalk of everything. There's a 4-pointer held by France. The other 4-pointer's way over here. There is about 17 minutes left. So technically, unless the coalition gets an infantry unit in this 4-pointer, or they could take all of these 1-pointers plus this 2-pointer. No, they just need to take the 2-pointer. This is a 2-pointer right here, which they have not taken yet. If they take that 2-pointer and then a couple of 1-pointers, they will still win. But France actually is pretty strong on this flank, but these units are exhausted. It's going to take one nice volley by the coalition, and they will break. So we've got to keep an eye on it. These Carabiniers literally could have the game in the palm of their hands if they can hold against the hundreds of enemies. But if the UK go for this 4-pointer, it is a long way away, but they could definitely make it in 15 minutes. Definitely could. And the only French army that seems to be left, this Carabiniers are going to break. It won't matter then. This French army does have their artillery all pushing forward here. With the rest of their infantry. They have cavalry just sitting here too. I think they forgot about it. Actually, they have 2 cav units just sitting there. They could be defending their lines. Oh, look at this. One Polish line infantry's come back, and they want a piece of the action still. Wait, who's charging? Are these guys even charging? They're running down a line infantry unit? Or are they going for artillery? What really blows my mind is the Austrians standing here staring down the French artillery. And this better not be another, like, corrupted replay. I haven't even installed the 9.3 patch yet, so this should be from 9.2. Unless that most recent patch before the 9.3 is screwing up my replay. Either way, I'm going to 9.3 after this anyway, but... This better not be anticlimactic.
Our men are running, sir.
What's this artillery even firing at? This is also, I think, considered embedding? Yeah, this is embedding. You can't do this either. You have to put units on either side. You can't put them inside of the artillery piece. That's just unacceptable. So I think that I can't tell this player's just new and doesn't know it, which could be the case. In which case, you know, I'm not hounding you, but if you are experienced, then you should know better. And playing by the rules is the only way to, you know, have any chance to play with some people. Some people won't play with you if you don't play by the rules. This Ottoman player has survived. I've heard Ottomans can be a lot of fun to play. Complicated, and if the enemy have a lot of heavy cav, then you may actually be screwed. The Ottomans brought a lot of cavalry and infantry, and both of those coordinated together seem to have worked really well for them. We have the UK now pushing up infantry to, this kind of feels like AI, the way they're pushing forward. Did they drop? Maybe they dropped. I don't know. Some of the replays have been a little weird recently. Like, these guys are even bayonet charging each other. What is going on here? Oh, look at the officer. Oh, it's off. Oh. Did he die? Oh, no, he's alive still. Is the flag bearer gonna make it out of there in one piece? Protecting the king's colors? I like how the French and Polish are like, yeah, we're not quitting yet. You know, this would be a daunting task. I feel like I wouldn't want to fight this either. That's a couple units of UK forces just sitting there, just shooting you up. The 4 French of you got shredded up by Ottoman skirmishers. There's just scattered French forces everywhere. I think, unless something happens here, I'm gonna skip to the end and see who actually truly wins. Because I don't. There's no way they don't take some LOCs. If the coalition doesn't notice it, then the French will win by LOC, even though they have definitely taken the field. At this point, I feel like a lot of AI now are on this field. Austria is definitely controlled by AI now. I feel like the UK maybe are. It's hard to tell. But the battle's basically won. Honestly, it was won once this whole right flank caved for France. And then this failed. I would say it was a pretty failed attack because France took such heavy losses against a vastly smaller sized UK army. I mean, they went full on bayonet charge straight for the enemy, and they took, I mean, you could probably see the casualties charging up this hill. Look at all this is almost all French, guys. Like, there's some red uniforms here, but look at this. This is all French getting shot in the face as they charged forward. See this? All French. This is why you cannot frontally charge the UK. Unless they have just fired, and then you're really close and you can close the gap. Otherwise, you got to go for those flanks. But I may just skip to the end, guys. I think nothing's going to really happen here. I will keep you guys updated if anything does change. Otherwise, I'll see you in a sec. Alright, guys, so this is what it's come down to. It will be a draw if the coalition can make it to this 1 pointer in time. They literally have to get their force to the 1 pointer. They have 3 points. They have this 2 pointer, this 1 pointer. They just need 1 more point. Otherwise, it is a French win by LOC victory by 1 point. I always rate battles on 2 different victories, though. I always say, you know, a field victory and an LOC victory. And I would say the field victory, there's only 1 or 2 units left of the French versus the coalition. So the coalition won the field, but they lost the LOC, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, this is 11-point France. Did so well in the very beginning with those assault columns. You can see these 3 grenadier units, the ones that charged against Austria in the beginning, and boy, did they do well. 262 kills, 133, 112. And then the cavalry and another grenadier plus the cuirassier. So the top units, the ones that went in on that assault against Austria. And it tells in the kills. Of course, they also took some heavy casualties. This carabinier unit had 4 men left at the end. Although, actually, no, this is the one that went into the LOC and held. And no surprise there. They held to the bitter end. So let me see if I can pull up the results. I'm pretty sure I have them, so give me 1 second. All right, guys, so here's the results here. Like I said, this one was set in by $, playing as France, Italy. Got 1959 for his kills. Did really well. Poland held beautifully. They didn't get a lot of kills, but I think they held that flank until the bitter end where they then crashed. 9-point France, Italy got 989. And then 9-point France, Flanders got 930. You got the UK, got 1654, and the other Ottoman army got 1652. Did really well there. The other UK, 891, and then Austria got 624. Even though they had an initial heavy loss, they still got better than the French lowest kill player. So, you know, still evened out, I guess, in the end, and they obviously got the W. So, yeah, that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.